Economic assessment of Colombia, a comparative country analysis. The GDP, or gross domestic product, is an attempt to take a snapshot of the health of an economy. It is the approximate value of a country according to its products, services, and commodities produced in the country itself. In most cases, the higher the gross domestic product rating of a country, the higher quality of living. We see that three South American countries are used as examples in the GDP: Colombia, Venezuela, and Ecuador. The numbers at the side of the graph are measured in billions of dollars. Since the 1980s, the GDP of many developing countries in South America has developed exponentially. Among the developing South American countries, we see that Colombia is among the leaders in GDP. With the growth of developing countries over time, we see from these graphs that where the GDP has come from has changed over time. In Colombia, agriculture has yielded to services and industry over time. With more globalization, people do tend to move from farmlands to densely populated cities. Venezuela, the South American country with the second highest GDP to Brazil, has the highest amount of industrialization. This could explain its high gross domestic product ranking among neighboring countries. Due to unavailable data, the GDP by sector for Ecuador is not shown. Colombia's economy is very dependent on their abundant supply of natural resources. Some of these resources include petroleum, natural gas, emeralds, oil, precious metals, hydroelectric power, and many more. To keep this economy running smoothly, Colombia depends on these products to attract international investments. The Big Mac Index is a comparison of the price of one of the world's most recognized food products, McDonald's Big Mac. Wherever you go, you can find this supersized hamburger being enjoyed by the world's consumer population. In the United States, a Big Mac will cost you about $4.20. In Brazil, the same Big Mac will cost you the equivalent of $5.58 in the Brazilian real. 8,400 Colombian pesos will buy you this hamburger at the equivalent of $4.54. But if you're looking for the Big Mac at the cheapest price in South America, you will have to travel to Peru, where it will cost you about $3.71. Inflation is a general increase in the prices and fall in the purchasing value of money. As the value of money goes down, more money is required to buy the products that consumers are desirous of. The trend in Colombia is that the amount of inflation has decreased over the last 30 years. From a depreciating monetary value of about 27% per year in 1980, inflation has decreased dramatically to about 3% at the beginning of 2013. Colombia's Human Development Index, also known as HDI, is a statistic that is used to rank countries by their level of human development and in order to distinguish them from other countries. Simply stated, it is a number that determines the well-being of a country compared to other countries throughout the world. This statistic focuses mainly on education, health, and income, but it can also include population, poverty, and other criteria like these. Colombia's HDI is 0.710. This ranks them 88th out of the 187 countries that can be compared. Neighboring countries like Venezuela, Ecuador, Brazil all rank above Colombia. Even though Colombia ranks below these other South American countries, the world average is 0.682. This means that Colombia is above the world's average for well-being. Trade per capita is described as the trade of goods and commercial services divided by the population. Colombia's trade per capita is $2,107. According to the World Bank, the population of Colombia is 46,927,125 as of 2011. Colombia is still slightly behind Brazil, which has a trade per capita of $2,423. The leader in trade capita in the South American countries is Venezuela with $4,379. Colombia has one of the highest unemployment rates in the continent of South America. Peru, Venezuela, and other South American countries all rank above Colombia. In the South American continent, Brazil is the country with the lowest unemployment rate. This may have to do with its high rate of GDP. The GINI index is a way of determining the amount of wealth distribution and equality in a country. The GINI index in Colombia was last reported at 55.91 in 2010, according to the World Bank report published in 2012. GINI index measures the extent to which the distribution of income, or in some cases, consumption expenditure, among individuals or households within a country deviates from a perfectly equal distribution. A Lorenz curve plots the cumulative percentages of the total income received against the cumulative number of recipients, starting with the poorest individuals of the household. The GINI index measures the area between the Lorenz curve and a hypothetical line of absolute equality, expressed as a percentage of the maximum area under the line. Thus, a GINI index of 0 represents a perfectly equal, while an index of 100 implies perfect inequality. This page includes a historical data chart, news and forecasts for the GINI index in Colombia. The definition of labor force participation is the proportion of the population ages 15 and older that is economically active, all people who supply labor for the production of goods and services during a specific period. Labor participation rate, or the total, the percentage of the population ages 15 and over in Colombia was 67.10 as of 2010. Its highest value over the past 20 years was 69 in 2003, while its lowest value was 53.9 in 1990. Colombia has a large amount of freedoms, especially business freedoms, compared to its neighbors. Peru, across the board, has the highest amount of economic freedom, trailed closely by Colombia.